earning $312,000 a year and still couldn't afford to quit. That was someone we'll call Marcus, whose net worth after 8 years of high income had grown by just $14,000. You have money in the bank, more than you've ever had, and your wealth hasn't moved in 2 years. The problem isn't your spending. It's what you're calling safety. That checking account balance sitting at $30,000 or $40,000 isn't a financial foundation. It's a slow drain disguised as security. Welcome to the cash trap. It's not a spending problem, it's not a discipline problem, it's a classification problem. You've been treating cash like a destination when it's actually a waiting room. Here's the contradiction that almost nobody talks about. 6 figures in income used to mean financial arrival. It doesn't anymore. According to research from multiple financial institutions, nearly 40% of Americans earning over $300,000 report living paycheck to paycheck. Not because they lack money, because they lack deployment. Your salary is not your wealth. Your salary is raw material. What you build with it is wealth. And right now, most high earners are leaving that material sitting in a pile, slowly losing value to inflation while they call it responsible. That's the cash trap. And if you earn good money, but your net worth looks exactly the same as it did 24 months ago, you're already in it. Let's do a quick diagnostic. No judgment here, just honesty. You work hard, you earn well. You're not reckless with money. You pay your bills on time. You have some savings. Maybe you contribute to a retirement account when you remember to. By conventional standards, you're doing fine, and that's exactly the problem. Fine is the language of stagnation. Here's what fine actually looks like on a balance sheet. Income goes up every year or two, lifestyle adjusts to match almost immediately, savings rate stays somewhere between 3 and 6%. Net worth inches forward at the same pace as inflation. Nothing compounds, nothing accelerates. You're running on a treadmill at exactly the speed the belt moves, effort without progress. Here's a question worth sitting with. If you lost your income tomorrow, how many months could you sustain your current life without selling something? For most high earners, the honest answer is uncomfortable. Not because they've been irresponsible, but because they've been optimizing for comfort in the present rather than freedom in the future. That's not a character flaw. It's a default setting, and default settings can be changed. The issue isn't who you are, it's what system you're running on without realizing it. Here's where it gets technical, and this is the part most financial content skips entirely. Cash doesn't just sit still. It moves backward. When your money lives in a standard checking account or even a basic savings account, it earns interest well below the rate of inflation. In practical terms, every month your cash pile grows in number but shrinks in purchasing power. That's erosion happening in real time while you feel financially stable. But the deeper damage isn't inflation. It's what economists call opportunity cost, and it's absolutely brutal at the compounding level. Every dollar sitting in cash is a dollar not working inside a compounding vehicle. The mathematical penalty compounds annually. What destroys high earners isn't bad spending. It's velocity starvation. Compounding requires 2 things, capital and time. Most high earners have capital. What they destroy is time. They delay deployment for months, sometimes years, waiting for the right moment, waiting for more clarity, waiting until life settles down. That wait is not free. It has a direct dollar cost. A dollar invested at 40 grows differently than a dollar invested at 35. The mechanism of the cash trap is simple and ruthless. Cash feels like safety. Safety feels like wisdom. Wisdom becomes justification for inaction. Inaction kills compounding velocity. And compounding velocity is the only engine that actually separates earners from the wealthy. Your income earns money linearly. Your investments earn money exponentially. Which one are you actually feeding right now? Drop one word in the comments right now. Just one word that describes your current relationship with money. Is it stagnant? Is it anxious? Is it controlled? Stuck? Growing? Whatever word comes to mind first, that's your honest answer. Type it. Don't overthink it. This channel is built on one principle. real conversations about money without the noise. If that kind of direct, no-nonsense financial thinking is what you come here for, then you already know where the subscribe button is. Hit it. Because what's coming in the next section is the kind of math that changes how you think about time, not just money. Same age, same income, same starting point, two completely different financial outcomes 10 years later. Let's call them Alex and Morgan. Both are 35. Both earn $90,000 a year. Both start with $25,000 in savings. The only difference is what they do with their money from this point forward. Alex keeps accumulating cash, adds steadily to a savings account, feels responsible, feels prepared. After 10 years, Alex has roughly $90,000 in cash savings. Respectable. But adjusted for inflation, that $90,000 has less purchasing power than the original $25,000. Compounding has not occurred in any meaningful way. Now look at Morgan. Morgan deploys money deliberately from day one. Takes that same $25,000 and puts it into a diversified index portfolio. Adds $1,500 a month through automated contributions. Doesn't try to time markets. Doesn't chase returns. Just stays consistent at an average 7% annual return. After 10 years, Morgan has crossed $360,000 in invested assets. Same income, same starting amount, same 10-year window. The gap between Alex and Morgan isn't luck or talent. It's deployment versus accumulation. That's the math the cash trap costs you. Not in theory, in actual dollars. The question is, which line are you currently on? Here's the uncomfortable truth about willpower. It doesn't scale. You can white-knuckle your way through one good financial month, maybe two. But behavioral research is clear. Decision fatigue is real, and financial willpower is among the first things to collapse under stress. Every time you have to actively choose to save instead of spend, you're using a limited resource. And high earners, by definition, live high-pressure lives. Stress and cash sitting in an account is a predictable equation. Stress plus available cash equals spending. Every single time. The solution isn't more discipline. The solution is a system that removes the decision entirely. Automation wins not because it's clever, but because it's invisible. When your investment contributions leave your account before you ever see them, willpower becomes irrelevant. You're not resisting temptation. Temptation doesn't get an invitation. This is the core principle behind what I call the deployment architecture. You build the structure once, and then the structure does the work. Your savings rate stops being a monthly intention and becomes a monthly mechanical fact. Think about the difference between trying to eat less and not having junk food in the house. Same outcome. Completely different effort level. Automated deployment is the financial equivalent of clearing the pantry. You don't have to be strong. You just have to design your environment correctly. Let's pause for a second. You're past the halfway point of this video, and I want to name exactly what's happening here. This isn't a budgeting lecture. There's no spreadsheet coming. No advice to cut your coffee or cancel subscriptions. What I'm building for you is a completely different mental operating system for how money moves in your life. If this is hitting differently than what you usually hear about personal finance, there's a reason for that. This channel approaches money as architecture, not motivation. If that distinction matters to you, subscribe right now, not later, not at the end, now. Because the next section is the one most people need most and watch the least. It's called The Fix, and it's a 3-step proprietary deployment system that puts everything we've covered into actual practice. Let's keep going. The system is called Sequence, Automate, Protect. 3 steps, each one builds on the last. Step 1 is sequence. Before you move a dollar, you sequence your financial priorities in a specific non-negotiable order. High-interest debt first because it compounds against you faster than almost any investment can compound for you. Then tax-advantaged accounts because the government subsidy on those vehicles is the closest thing to a guaranteed return that exists. Then taxable investment accounts. Then cash reserves capped at 3 to 6 months of actual expenses, not comfort, actual expenses. Most people do this backwards. They build cash first, invest what's left over, and never touch the debt aggressively. Sequence reverses that logic entirely. Step 2 is automate. Once the sequence is defined, every allocation runs on autopilot before your spending account sees the money. Paycheck arrives. Contributions route automatically. What lands in checking is what you have to live on, not the gross. The post-deployment net. This reframes your psychology entirely. You stop feeling like you're saving. You start feeling like you're living within your actual income. Step 3 is protect. Set a mandatory review every 90 days. Not to second-guess your investments, to ensure lifestyle creep hasn't quietly increased your fixed costs and compressed your deployment percentage. The system protects itself through regular audits that take 20 minutes and catch problems before they compound. Sequence, automate, protect. That's the entire architecture. Here's the final thought, my friend, and I want you to hold it carefully. The gap between what you earn and what you keep is not a willpower gap. It's a system gap. High income without deployment architecture is just expensive stagnation. It feels like progress. The numbers going up on a paycheck create a sensation of forward movement. But sensation is not the same as momentum. Momentum requires direction and compounding. Direction requires a system. A system requires one decision, made once, that runs automatically from that point forward. You are not behind, but you are in a waiting room that you've been calling a destination. The cash trap is not about irresponsibility. It's about a default setting no one ever showed you how to change. You can change it this week, not because you've suddenly become more disciplined, but because discipline is no longer the variable. The system is. Every month you delay deployment is a month you pay in compounding cost. Compounding doesn't negotiate. It doesn't offer extensions. It rewards the consistent and ignores the eventual. You already have the income. The only remaining question is whether you're going to keep letting it sit or put it to work. Defend the gap. If you're a high earner, or on your way there, and you've been applying the 3-step system to sequence, automate, and protect your wealth, drop a comment below. I go through as many as I can because I love seeing how these principles show up in real life. And if this breakdown brought you clarity, tap the like button so the algorithm pushes it towards someone who needs a wake-up call. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.